wish I knew how to do this shit. I really need 2 monitors for this one. Okay, I'm assuming my audio is working. But to actually test that, I'm going to have to play Ableton and see if I can hear it in the stream. But now I have to find myself again. Assuming my audio is working. But to actually test that, I'm going to have to play Ableton. Okay, that finished apparently. Nope, still streaming. Nope, no audio from Ableton, so let's try and fix that one. Desktop audio is not coming through that, so I need input. Yeah, it should be there. Nope, no audio from Ableton, so let's try and fix that one. Louder. Okay, we can now hear Ableton, that's good. Second issue, I'm actually not scaled properly. Okay, we can now hear Ableton. Hit the screen. There you go. Second issue, I'm actually not scaled properly. Right, I can close that now, that's fine. Christ. Stream manager. Okay. Bloody hell. Right, so some cool shit going on. Sound design. Found a new plugin called Corkscrew. And If you ever heard of a thing called the Doppler effect, as well as the, what are we calling it, Mayo 64. Anyone's ever played that? There's an infamous famous set of stairs. It's like an endless set of stairs. And whilst you're running up them, there's this tone constantly rising. And there's an interesting effect happening, because it's like, it always sounds like it's rising and it never ends. But there's like an audio illusion happening of where there's an octave above and an octave below, synced up in time. So the one at the bottom rises to its peak, and once it hits its peak, the one at the top then begins its rise an octave above. And the lasting effect creates a instant loop, a forever infinite loop of pitch rising, which is used a lot in film and TV scores. Hans Zimmer's quite famous for it. It's very good for adding tension to Stuf. So, just as an example, this is just a straight up flat key tone, no pitch bendings happening to it, of a string from Omnisphere. Actually, that does have the effect on it. Okay, without the effect. As you can tell, not a lot going on. It's just one note. Whack the effect on. And how this automates everything, which is an amazing piece of kit. So that's doing the before mentioned. It's taking the sound file it's reading, and then it's pitch shifting it down an octave, as well as creating a duplicate above as well, in an octave above, and then pitch bending it, syncing up the timing of it, so as the bottom reaches its peak, the next one starts from the bottom. Yeah, you can do this a very long-winded way. Well, there's two ways actually. You can either do it in a piano roll, so you'll literally be drawing and so on. So you'd start from like C3 in a piano roll and finish up at C4, yeah, and then you'll duplicate that over and drop it an octave above, and in theory, once it hits here and resets again, the tone of what sound actually have in here in a minute. Okay, let's just drop piano roll in here. Simple piano, there you go. You gonna load, bro? Okay. So obviously this is just going to sound like notes rising. But funnily enough, it also has the effect on it again, doesn't it? Yep. Then once it hits here, it's going to loop again. Now, the long-winded way of making that seems seamless, so the pitch is always rising and you don't hear the drop back to the low. Like, that's very obvious, isn't it, when it reaches back to the beginning. The key around that is also going into your pitch bend envelope and making sure that, say, you have to do it in 2 tracks as well. Like you see here how I have 1 octave and the octave above in the sound piano roll. I'd have to do a separate one with 1 octave and then the other octave in the other one. The idea being, you rise the pitch bend to a certain factor, and then the other piano roll will match where that one is and then start again once the loop begins again. But that's long-winded, so let's get a plugin that does all that shit for us. So back to the string without the effect on, whack it on, and the interesting part, in theory, when this loops back around, you shouldn't be able to notice. Yep, flawless. Amazing piece of kit. Unfortunately, it has an added unfortunate side effect. I don't know how many times I need to say unfortunate. It's that unfortunate. Of it adds artifact elements to it, and you'll be able to tell when I lower the render level of it. So for the fastest effect, also gives the worst artifact quality, and you'll see what I mean. So it's currently on the best, but even then that sounds quite wishy-washy compared to the original string. Let's try number 3. Number 2. Okay, you're starting to see like a massive difference between the two now. And then the fastest also being the most artificial. Yeah, big problem. So, to help with that, even on the best quality of it, it still sounds a bit too artificial for my liking, for what I'm trying to do here. So, the idea that I had was to have a string just on a single note, which is what key are we in the minute, just an E, that's fine, without the effect. That's just playing straight, and then layer over the top of it one that is doing it at number 4. Which also makes it a bit more chaotic, which is cool for what I'm trying to do anyway. So, this plugin, by the way, is a free DL download. What I might do at the end of the stream is put it in the description anyway, the link to it. It also comes with a set of other things in a pack. Anarchy effects. I think the studio is called Anarchy effects. Then I do a couple of different things which I haven't tried out yet. So convoluter, harmonic adder, length separator, spectral autobahn. So what I might do is just try these out now and see what they do. I'm not too sure if they all affect MIDI as well, because this isn't a WAV file. This is working through a MIDI in Omnisphere. Yeah. What did I have up here? This is an example I was playing with before, but this is with audio instead, so I can work with audio or MIDI. Well, that's very artifacty. It sounds really synthesized. So it seemed to work better from an instrument plugin as opposed to a raw audio file, and it gets extremely bad when you drop it on the first. But without, you'll see the loop of the audio. Which obviously isn't seamless. I haven't even bothered to crossfade any of them either, because with it on you can't notice the crossing loop anyway. You don't notice that dip cut. And I guess you do a little bit now that I'm paying attention to it. That's okay, that's what experimenting is all about. So, what was I doing? I was trying out the other set of plugins, wasn't I? So that's Corkscrew. This is without. So let's try Convolutor. Well, I know what a convolutor, but I'm not sure what this is going to try and achieve. Okay. You could do some cool shit with this if you started adding some ping pong delay and stuff and really artifact it up. Let's just get the bass. Okay, you can do some cool sci-fi stuff for this. It helps the fact that it's automatable as well, so you could literally draw that in, so I haven't got to tweak it myself. So I can make some cool rises out of that. What else did we have? Going in the pack also had harmonic adder. Okay. What does this lad do? Ooh, sorry. Yep, that's adding the harmonic. That's interesting that it's like incremental. Okay, then you have an envelope shaper there. Okay, probably not going to have much use for that one. Length separator. Transient. What's this? Transient compressor. Not really sure what that's doing. If it's compressing the transients it's finding in the wave. Actually, there might be a way you can see that. Utility. Yep. No, not utility. Where's the one that shows the frequency? Frequency shifter. No. Spectrum. Was it spectrum? Yes. Nope. Absolutely no idea what that's doing. On a technical term anyway. You can obviously hear it, but I'm not sure what it's actually affecting to do that. Well, last one was spectral autopan. Okay, it's just a panel. Okay, you can do some weird glitchy stuff with this. Cool. But let's try and get some spooky shit going on. So, working on this here at the minute. I want to get into contact straight light. This is God, an amazing. It's not an additive synthesizer, is it? Granular? But Jesus, like, listen to the shit you can do with this. That's the presets alone. No, that's pod racing. So, you obviously have your X and Y axis here to do some automation fanning a bit, which is cool. Let's take something like this, try and do. Now I'll add noise and rise to the top. So what I might do is automate that to come in at the end of a bar. Don't need that anymore. Hang on, what does that sound like? Bit of that. And move it about there. Okay, there's an artifact at the end which I don't really want. Okay, to do with that, what I'm going to do. let's fade that out. Because I'm going to have like a sub kick here anyway, or whatever. Oh no. Well, that's my samples gone. Oh, for God's sake. So, there's a problem which happens every now and then because all my samples are on external hard drives. Because I have that many, it's impossible to keep them on the actual PC hard drive. But every now and then there seems to be like a power surge and it will cut connection with them. And it will take like, it can take up to 2 hours to resync everything again. Son of a bitch. Anyway, while that's happening, we'll have a check out at, what did I make? Okay, this is just testing purposes anyway, so nope, that's fine. It's the thing I was doing earlier. So in this one we're going to have 2 of them infinitely rising loops. The first one up here, which is just rising in volume in a sec. Actually this one comes in first. And this is done with audio. Yeah, that's what that little plugin does. It's cool. Obviously, if you like solo them out, you can hear the artifactness going on. Because it's essentially stretching the WAV file to fuck. Which is quite a complicated thing to do by hand. And even then, even if you did it by hand, it will still sound like this. Not complicated, just really time consuming. So it's nice that you got something that does it instantly itself. It's not good for computer usage though. It's fine. I could just render this out, freeze and flatten it anyway, and that problem would be sorted. But yeah, new tool for sound design stuff, because that's what I'm currently working on at the minute. I've been asked to do an album for the Nerve. They gave me an example of the beach flyover scene in Dunkirk. In fact, the entire score of Dunkirk uses this shepherd tone to quite good effect. As well as in Interstellar and some other big Zimmer pictures. He uses it a lot, as much as he can, because it's a great tool for tension, and it can be really minimal, or you can go really advanced with it by adding bass tones and everything in it, or you can just have like a high string. which I think when I get to actually properly writing the album, I'm going to try and be minimal with it myself, because of that artifact thing of what this plugin does. I can already tell you that is going to sound like complete ass when you start throwing in things like. In fact, let's try that out. Actually, you can keep using Starlight, can't we? Starlight too. Let's take a bass or sub. Let's try a pulse. What's this sound like? Hopefully find one that doesn't cut itself out. Okay, let's try a big meaty sub like that. So this is a pulse. Doesn't actually do much, but let's see what the plugin does to it anyway. Yeah, you're going to need something that doesn't just have an initial hit and kills itself off. Okay, engine starting. So this is perfectly adequate if you want to do some sci-fi stuff, you know. That would work fine if you're doing some Foley for some spaceships engine sounds, you know. But it takes something that sounds fairly organic, like without it now, and it just makes it sound like it's straight out from Serum or something, like 100% digitalized. Right, let's go to the worst. Yeah. So you can also affect, that sounds like shit, okay. You can also change the speed of it, as well as going down as well. So yeah, if you want to make some spaceship shit, then get Corkscrew. It's completely free by Anarchy Effects. There you go. You'll just find the download link if you just literally Google that Anarchy Effects Corkscrew. It's not, you know, it's not a torrent or anything. They're literally giving it away for free. So I wish I had something like this when I was at uni, because at uni one of the coursework assignments we had to do was do the Foley and sound effects for a load of scenes from Star Wars Episode 3, and for that was the scene with was it Django or Boba Fett? One of them, with Kenobi trailing him through the asteroid belt and all that. He's dropping bombs behind him. I'm trying to get the spaceship sounds for that. I was using a tool, a plugin that applies the Doppler effect, which is okay, but I wish I had this, because I could have gotten the because not only can you do the Doppler effect yourself in this by then going like applying this and then doing the panning yourself, which will be I guess it sound more realistic to the picture. because the plugin I was using, it didn't. It tried to do it, but you could just tell that because you didn't have much control with it. It was okay. It's going at this speed. It's going to pass now, as in from left to right, and the loudness of it as well with the volume. You had no control over that. So trying to sync that up to of what the spaceship was doing in the picture was really difficult and a pain in the arse. Whereas this, you have complete control, and then with the speed, the sound of it seemingly slowing down or speeding up the spaceship, and then you can just do the panning yourself. So that, in effect, with some hand tweaking, you get something really quite effective. So yeah, cool. So I'm really glad I got this. So this is cool for me because I'm usually a songwriter, but I have a big passion for sound design, and I've always wanted to get into it. Primarily for video games, but you know, I'm not against cartoons, anime, films, bigger things, you know, and Foley recording and stuff. So this is like a good opportunity that I was approached by the nerve to take a whack at this. I thought I'd pick this up and give it a go, and I think with this in my arsenal, I'll do a good job at it. What else have we been working on? Podcast, expansion pass. So I was doing some no, because I already rendered that. Some sad depressing shit. Yeah. I like this effect. Anyway, enough faffing about. I just wanted to show that piece of kit off. Yeah. Anarchy effect. Type in Corkscrew, and what you'll do, you'll find the download link, and instead of just getting that, you'll also get a pack with these other ones in it as well: convoluter, harmonic adder, lens separator, and spectral autobahn, which I'm sure you'll find useful if you're into this stuff. For me personally, I'm just getting it for the Corkscrew because that is a useful piece of hardware to have for this game anyway. You could use it musically, I'm sure. You can find some cool things to do. You can do your own risers. Yeah, get that into a drop and then confuse everyone because hang on, the rise is still going. You know, fuck it, break some walls down, do something different. You know, because everyone's sick of listening to the same shit at the minute. So experiment a bit, and that's what I'm trying to do more these days. Stay away from presets and all that, and just faff about until you separate yourself away from the rest of the pack. That's the only way you're going to make a difference now, you know. But yeah, cool. Thanks for watching. Let's end this, and it's awkward because it's like screen view, so you're going to see everything, but you know. Thank you. Bye bye.